Hello, my friends. Get my thing of white chemicals for this afternoon. Yay! And I was running a little bit behind. Actually, the Monsters have half the caffeine that the rock stars do, so I choose to pick your poison. I guess this is the one that I go after. Thank you. I took a shower today. I actually went and had lunch with my husband, which is why I'm running a little bit behind. That's right. Yeah. So this morning I got up to work out. Monster. That's right, Meredith. And I was getting dressed in the bathroom, and a notification goes off on my phone that Megan was on Periscope. Hi, good afternoon. And I about died. I was like, what? So I see that it says she was taking shelter or whatever. So I checked the weather because it was definitely windy and it was raining pretty hard, but I didn't. The tornado warnings were much farther north than where I live. She's probably about 10 minutes north of where I am, and then the tornadoes were farther north than that. So the fact that she woke her babies up, oh my Lord. I was like, yeah, no, I'm going to wait till I hear the sirens going off before I wake up my kids. I know, and since she's having so much construction done right now, how much does that totally stink for her? So now it's actually sunny. It's actually been sunny and it's warming up a little bit. It's supposed to drop down into the 40s again tonight. So I like the rain. The dreariness gets to me a little bit, but it's kind of part of the territory with living in Texas. We don't get all that beautiful snow like the North does. My son actually asks a lot about that. Yes, I will save it. Most definitely. My son asks if we're going to get hit by tornadoes. We made the mistake of taking them to Ripley's Believe It or Not, and they had a whole tornado section in there. Oh, you do? Yeah. North Texas is pretty bipolar too. I miss the snow, but I grew up in Colorado, so moving here was kind of a shock that the kind of snow that we get is shuts down schools, and it's like 1/4 of an inch. Kind of ridiculous. So yesterday I got an email from one of my girls asking about some clarification on some of the stuff I mentioned yesterday on Periscope. One of those being I had said that if somebody came to me and they were eating 1,200 calories a day and I started them on a macro plan that ate 1,500, there's a good chance that they would gain. That's not to say that everybody would gain eating 1,500. Oh my gosh. Where are you in Colorado? See, I would love that. That would be absolutely fantastic. It would be reason to... I miss the white Christmas because, like I said, I grew up there. Oh, okay. I grew up in Littleton. I guess it's Centennial now. But yeah, so I actually moved here my senior year in high school. So I grew up... I was in Colorado for over 10 years. So the idea is no matter what your calorie intake is, if you have sustained that for a long period of time, your metabolism adapts to that level. The body is very smart. So if you guys think about it, no matter what, it's impossible to always lose weight, right? At some point, your body's going to go into like a starvation mode and it's going to hang on to everything. Otherwise, if you were losing, at 1,200 calories and that's just was your number, then you would end up where you weighed like nothing, right? 75, 80 pounds or whatever. At some point, your body stops allowing you to lose weight. For women, a lot of times they can pick up on that by missing their period and stuff. But of course, your body will start to use muscle as fuel. So if someone came to me and they said, can you write me a plan? And they had been sustaining life on 1,200 calories a day. If I wrote their plan at 1,500, they would be in a calorie surplus. Some people respond very well to that. Their body says, oh, thank God you're finally feeding me. Other people don't. They just start to gain some fat. And so that's what my hope is usually when people come to me, is that they haven't been starving themselves, or we at least can get an idea of how they have been eating. That's why I suggest people log for a few days before they pay for a macro plan, because you can be eating... Have you been following macros, Shanna? So that was hopefully that clarifies some things, clears some things up for you, Jen, is that not everybody who's eating 1200 will automatically gain fat on 15, but if it's called metabolic adaptation, and we do naturally start to adapt no matter where you are. So if you've been eating 17, you drop your macros down to 16. If you were eating that for 6 months, your body's going to adjust to eating 16, because there's people that say, I've been eating these macros and I was doing really well at first, and now all of a sudden I'm not losing anymore. Okay, well, your body's learned to adjust to that. That's also why you have to reverse back up slowly, because if your body got used to your fat loss being 1700, and then all of a sudden we say, okay, let's put them in reverse and bump you up to 2300, you're gonna gain fat. That's just what's gonna happen. So that's why you're basically reteaching your metabolism to burn at a higher and higher level. I see you, Meredith. Give me that smirk. The other thing that I had said was, you can't build muscle in a calorie deficit. Now, that doesn't mean that you should stop working out, because the idea while you're in a fat loss or in a deficit is to maintain the muscle that you currently are carrying. In a reverse, you're not losing weight. So whatever fat is on top of the muscle is probably going to stay there while you reverse up. The thing is, you're going to gain muscle, so you're going to get thicker because the muscle underneath is growing. So the idea in a calorie deficit is to lose fat. It's not to gain the muscle. So you can't increase your metabolism in a calorie deficit. You would do that in a reverse. So anybody that's been put into a fat loss, that's what they're supposed to be doing, is losing fat, not focusing on gaining muscle. Then you can switch over to a reverse and slowly gain muscle, while keeping whatever fat you lost off during that time. So today I have, again, I did more drawings for you guys because I'm much more a visual learner. Plus I know it's easier. Sometimes this stuff moves kind of fast, and if you can take a picture of it and, yes, you do. And the thing is, you have muscle on your body. So it's not like you're walking around with no muscle. And in fact, like if you think about it, somebody who weighs 350 pounds probably actually has some pretty good muscle structure, because it takes a lot to carry around 350 pounds. So you have muscles in your legs and in your arms and in your shoulders and in your back that you just can't see because there's fat on top of it. So in a calorie deficit, it is also natural to lose some amount of lean muscle mass. You just want to lose the least amount possible. So basically, if you were to take, like I said, like a 350-pound woman, and you just literally stripped off all the fat like that, she probably would be massive underneath, because it's taking so much for her to carry all that weight around. That's actually, if it's skin, or if the muscle didn't ever kind of come back together after your C-section, then that may be something that you'll never be completely flat. Of course, it's kind of a small price to pay after having babies. That's the way that I try to see it with myself anyway. But yeah, so anything that's like, well, that's not that long. I know that seems like it is, because when you have a baby that's a year and then you see these, yeah, see? I'll be honest with you. When I was in Walmart and I'd have my 6-week-old or 8-week-old baby in the cart, and the lady in front of me is holding a newborn, and she looks like she's like a size 4 on a fat day. How unfair was that? I was still carrying around like huge boobs from breastfeeding, and had this post-pregnancy belly, and it was just, God makes all of us different. So I tried to focus on the fact that maybe she wasn't feeding her baby right. That at least made me feel better for 5 minutes. That I was at that moment, I was my baby's food source. And so worst case, I was going to look flabby. My husband still loved me, and there was nothing you can really do. You're a mom at that point. So it is unfair. I hate those girls or they talk about how they never really got out of their pre-pregnancy jeans. I'm like, girl, I gained 20 pounds when that stick turned blue. What are you talking about? So, oh Lord, how I wished that I would have found macros when I was in my pregnancies. I wouldn't have gained, right? Oh my gosh, is that such a Megan? Rude. So today I have, I'm going to talk to you guys about a couple examples of high-intensity cardio sessions, and also give you an example of a way to work out and rotate. None of this stuff is like an absolute requirement. I'm just giving you guys suggestions, and I'll explain kind of how these things work. So the first thing I'll show you is high intensity. I have two different papers. One of them is for people who make it to the gym, and one is for people who need to be doing their high intensity stuff at home. So the first one is people who can go to the gym. Show you that. This is high intensity. Always start with a 5-minute warm-up. No matter what your workout is, start with a 5-minute warm-up. Your 5-minute warm-up can literally be walking on the treadmill, doing, side step, whatever you want it to be. You just really need to get those muscles moving. You never want to automatically just jump right into your high intensity session. So 5 minutes of warm up however you want to. If you're going to use, so each one of these things that's on here is a different high intensity session. They should be, if you look here, so you'll have a 5-minute warm up, you'll have a 5-minute cool down. These are the machines that are available at the gym to do this type of a workout. You can do treadmill, elliptical, the stair mill, or you can do hills if you wanted to do them outside. This can be walking. This does not have to be running. High intensity is literally just something that makes you sweat. You want it to be very difficult. So what you'll do is after your 5-minute warm up, let's say that we're going to do it on the treadmill for this one for right now. You're going to do 15 seconds. Your 15-second interval is going to be all out. I mean, you are going to be, whether you're at like a 10 incline and you're cranking out the walking, or if you want to do a full-on sprint for 15 seconds, I mean, really moving those legs. What I prefer to do is I actually turn the treadmill off and put it at about a 2 incline, and then I push the belt with my legs. 15 seconds with everything you've got in you. And then you're going to rest right after that for 45. So that's obviously going to be a minute total. And then you're going to start over again. You're going to do this a total of 10 times. So that's 10 minutes right there. This is 10 minutes total here. So those high intensity sessions will end up being 20 minutes total. If you are not totally dying at the end of these 20 minutes, you didn't do it hard enough. And you need to do it again. Not the same day, but just these are things that you want to really push. So if you're doing the elliptical, put the resistance crazy high and just crank it out. Same thing with stairs. Like I said, a hill. When I go outside and do hills, it'll literally be a 15-second sprint. I find the steepest hill that I can in town. And then when I hit that 15 seconds, I turn around and I just walk back down for the next 45. Your recovery needs to be easy. If you're doing sprints with the treadmill belt running, just literally jump off and put your feet on the sides for the 45 seconds. That allows your heart rate to come down. So what's happening... oh, I know. I was the same way. The treadmill absolutely kills me. So this one, what I call is, when I turn it off, I call it a dead mill. That'll get you some looks in the gym, but you will sweat your booty off because pushing for 15 seconds with everything in you on that belt, whoo, I mean, that is a leg burn like nobody's business. So 20-minute high intensity session. Yes. Like I said, we're gonna repeat 10 times. If you want to go there's no point by the time that you slow the belt down. You have to speed it right back up because these are such quick bursts. If you feel you want to go more, I wouldn't go more than probably 12 of these. So like I said, a 20 to 25 minute high intensity session is more than enough. Just make sure that you're keeping these two. You could actually, if you wanted to, also increase this to 20 seconds with a 40-second recovery once you start really feeling like you're adjusting. Because you don't really, high intensity dishes, you don't really want to do more than about 12. So once you get up to where this maybe feels a little easy, if you want to call it that, then you can always bump this up to 20 with a 40-second recovery. If you do the dead mills with the treadmill off, 20 seconds is almost impossible. So there's that one. Then I will show you some high intensity to do at home. Again, always with 5-minute warm up. And these in a 5-minute cool down. So there's 10 of your minutes right there. So what I call these is minute on the minute. Hi, Chelsea. So these are examples, not all things that you'll do together. So I use the bar with the dead mill just to kind of hold myself, yes. And then that way you don't fall over because you got to push with everything in you. Try to keep up fairly upright. But yes, you're going to kind of use the resistance, which is also going to give you, again, a good upper body burn at the same time. So these are called minute on the minute. One of the things would be 10 burpees. And I'll use this one as the example. So you're going to do 10 burpees. You're going to need a stopwatch or a clock with a second hand. Start, at the 12, do 10 burpees. However long that takes you, so let's say that they take you 25 seconds to do 10 burpees, you now have the remainder of the minute as your recovery. So you do 10 burpees for 30 seconds, you get a 30-second recovery. Your next set may take you 35 seconds, so now you have a 25-second recovery. Just start lifting your 1-year-old. Everywhere you go, over the head. We'll do overhead presses with our babies. So this one, the benefit to this is naturally as you get tired, you're going to get slower at doing your 10. Again, this is going to be repeating 10 times. 10 times 10 is, that's 100 burpees. 100. Yes, so you're going to kill yourself on this one. So then another example would be doing, there you go, 20 jumping jacks. Same thing. All out. Sometimes a squat in the jumping jack is also a good added, like if you really want to work on the inner thigh. This one I'll rotate between these. I'll do 20 jump squats and then speed squats right after. So this is a total of a 30 rep movement. And then again, you're still doing all these within a minute, repeating one of these 10 times. And I'm giving you these different examples because if you wanted to use this one today and then you wanted to use this one on Thursday, that works great. Yeah, I should do that, shouldn't I? Gym plus lunch. So this is, again, you can use these, and even if you go to the gym, you can totally do all of these. So this is an example, like I said, if you can't